Hi folks, and welcome back to Meaningful Money. Today I've got another checklist top tips video for you. This time to help you review your finances each year to keep things on track. I'm telling you, this is so important. If you're new here, my name is Pete Matthew. I'm a chartered financial planner based in Cornwall in the UK, and I've been putting up content here on YouTube for more than 10 years, giving you everything you need to know and everything you need to do to secure your financial future. Reviewing your finances annually is so important. It prevents drift, where things get increasingly out of whack and then take an almighty effort to realign. Tiny course corrections throughout the year as needed, and then a bit of concerted time once a year should be all you need to do to keep your financial life in tip-top shape. And today I'm going to give you a checklist of everything you need to cover in your annual review. Let's dive in. Step 1 is to review your paperwork. We've spent quite a bit of time talking about paperwork over the past couple of weeks, and inevitably, over the course of a year, things are going to get a little bit untidy. So work back through the paperwork checklist to get all your financial and other paperwork in line. And if you haven't seen the video about that, I'll put a link to it up here. A tidy desk makes for a tidy mind, and you'll need that for what's to come in the rest of this checklist. Step 2, review your cash flow. The bedrock of all financial planning is cash flow, that is money in and money out. It's a good idea, therefore, to take a look at what has gone out over the past year. Review how well you've stuck to your budget, if you have one. Use your banking app or your own records to see how much you spent in each category over the year. Was that as expected, or was it all over the place, or somewhere in between? Also, take a look at your income. Was it exactly as expected, or were there any surprises? Were there any one-off expenses that you hadn't planned for? Did you manage to budget around them, or did your finances take a bit of a beating as a result? None of this looking back should be judgmental. Try to be objective. The idea is to learn lessons that you can apply going forward. Just a quick note here, if you're finding these videos useful, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and hit the bell to receive the notifications. We're all about practical information to help you move forward with your finances quickly, and there's loads more to come, and I don't want you to miss out. Thank you in advance. Step 3 is to review your calendar. So take out your calendar and look back over the year. What events occurred of importance, and what impact did they have on things? More importantly, look forward to the coming year. Are there some big events that you need to prepare for financially? Or planned expenditure like changing the car, getting the roof done, or a big holiday? If you've got bills which you pay annually, mark them on the calendar too, and it'll keep them front of mind when the time comes. Step 4, review your budget. In light of your reviews of your cash flow and your calendar, plan your spending for the coming year. Do you need to set up sinking funds for forthcoming bills so that you've got the money on hand when they appear? If necessary, set aside the money now so that it's done and you don't forget about it. Maybe use the pots feature in your banking app, or physically move the money to a different account so that it's set aside. If there's more than one of you in a household partnership, do the budgeting exercise together, as it's really important to be on the same page where possible. Step 5, review your savings rate. Paying yourself first is a golden rule of wealth building. So when you're setting your spending plan, review how much is going into your short and long-term savings. Take the opportunity to increase that figure if you can. It doesn't have to be a large amount, just a tenner a month more going into your savings will help. Have you had a pay rise, promotion, or a job change? Did you take that opportunity to adjust your savings rate? If not, then do so now. Can you salary sacrifice into your pension? Maybe. Your savings rate is technically just a percentage of your pay, and you want to see that percentage rate rise each year ideally, even if it's just by a single digit, because then you know you're saving a little bit more every year. Let me just take 2 seconds out here to say a quick thank you to my good friends at 7 Investment Management, who have been sponsoring Meaningful Money since 2011. I'm super grateful to them. Please check out what they're up to at 7im.co.uk. Now, back to the checklist. Step 6, review your savings split. Don't just review the amount of money that you're saving, also review where it's going. So is the split between your ISA and your pension working for you? I'm not convinced that there's a right split. I tend to say that early on you should favor ISAs while paying what you need into your pension to get the employer match. Once your ISAs get to a tidy level, shift the balance over time towards pensions. Of course, if you're aggressively pursuing FIRE, then you'll want to keep the balance in favor of your ISAs because you can't access pensions till much later on. Number 7, review your portfolio. Time now to look at how your invested money has performed over the last year. You want to look at the funds you're in, the split between them, and also the platform providers that you're using. With the funds, check back over the performance for the year. Pull up a graph on your platform or on Morningstar or something like that. When reviewing performance, it's important always to ask why. Why did the funds perform as they did? If you're using tracker funds, what you're really asking is why did the markets that you're tracking behave as they did? If you're using actively managed funds, you're going to want to compare with the relevant sector average. Did your chosen funds under or outperform? And why? Try to overlay what happened in the world throughout the year onto the performance of your portfolio. Apply context to your portfolio performance, but don't obsess about it. Don't overthink it. Rebalance if needs be. If the weightings of the constituent parts of your portfolio have moved significantly since you set them up, you need to bring them back into line. For your platforms, are they behaving as they should? Are there any frustrations that you have when you're using the system that you've just had enough of? Might you get better service elsewhere? What about costs? Has the balance of your accounts maybe got to the point where you might fall into a lower tier of charges on a different platform maybe? Don't drift. Always check that your finances are optimized. But if nothing is wildly out of whack, you can just move on. Remember, for much more detailed training on this whole subject, plus a community of people just like you who are trying to apply this stuff practically, check out MeaningfulAcademy.com. There's a link in the description below. Next, review your current protection program. Your program of insurance is really the foundation on which everything else is built. It is that important. Please hear me. Take the time firstly to remind yourself of your current provision. So remember the 3 risks that we're covering: dying early, contracting a serious illness but surviving, and being unable to work long term. Ask yourself what would pay out if any of those 3 risks happens. If you die, what will be paid out by your company and any policies that you've taken out yourself? If you go off sick, how long will you get sick pay for? And how much? How long will your emergency fund last in that scenario? Do you need to top it up a bit? If you've got income protection insurance, is it still at the right level? If you received a pay rise or a promotion, chances are it needs reviewing. So if you identify a shortfall or some issue with your current insurance program, make a note, get that fixed. Talk to your financial advisor or go to meaningfulmoney.tv/lifesearch to get expert help from the good people at LifeSearch. Again, I'll put a link in the description below the video here. We're on the home straight now. Number 9, review your to-do list. While you've been reviewing things, you'll have written down some tasks to get done. It's always worth not getting distracted by doing those tasks while you're doing your review. Make a note and deal with them at the end. Now go over that list of actions and prioritize them. Put a date to get them done soon in the calendar. Resolve that whatever happens, you won't get to next year's review and have to address the exact same things that you said that you would do this year. Have you ever done that? Me too. And finally, number 10, review your priorities. Arguably, this could have been the very first point in your review after getting your paperwork in line perhaps, but your priorities will drive everything you do in life, and your finances will reflect that. Discuss your priorities with your partner if you have one. Set them together and commit to them as a team. Ask yourself if your current financial affairs adequately reflect your true priorities, and if not, then do something about it. Make the necessary changes now so that next year you can smugly look back on a job well done. The annual review is an opportunity to reorient yourself with your priorities and make sure that everything is where it should be. If left for too long, you can find yourself way off from where you would want to be. And it's a crucial discipline for intentional wealth builders like us to have an annual review. Okay, a couple of comments here. This one is from John C. Elliott on Instagram, responding to my little rant about envelopes in financial filing systems. John says, made me feel bad about my envelopes. I want to say that I'm sorry for making you feel bad, John, but I'm not. Get rid of them. You'll thank me later. This is a response from Blank Studio TV to a video I did about changing your investments if you're in the Nest pension and if you're under 27 years old. They say, first time logging into my pension was surprised with what was in there, thought it was less, but should still be more considering it's been 5 years. Decided to double my contribution, change my fund to a high risk one, which I would have preferred from the start, but better late than never. Blank Studio TV, always better late than never, right? It's never too late to make good changes to whatever it is you're doing with your finances. Increase your contribution regularly, push the investments hard, and you'll be grateful. Well done for taking action. And then from Slinker Jens on Instagram, just says, can't thank you enough for my financial education. Thank you for saying thank you. I really appreciate it. I've been doing this a long time now, and it's just a delight that people respond and say that it's been helpful. So thank you for taking the time to do that, Slinker Jens. Okay, folks, I hope that was helpful. You can download a printable version of the checklist from the Meaningful Money website. There's a link under the video. If it's been helpful, then again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to get the notifications. It really helps us build the channel here. So thank you in advance, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.